Hello, welcome to this week's YouTube. My name's Vicky Wallace. I am a master healer and quantum channel, and this session today is going to tap into retrogrades and the Mercury retrograde that we're about to go into. It is the 26th of November, 2024. And I am already noticing the shadow. I do notice when retrogrades hit and my mindset just shifts, and things that were flowing and the access to my light dampens a lot. And I find that I'm navigating through anguish and frustration and the lower vibes within myself and the patterns and the stories. We've just recently gone through the 1111 gateway, which is this year is the first time I did the transmission. And it was extremely beautiful and powerful as I tune into the energies for today and what my team are wanting to bring through. They're just saying forgiveness and that the way we treat ourselves, and when we drop in our vibe and still try to function with all the things we need to do. Our lives are busy, full with lots of other people. You could be reversing out of your life a little bit, which is me. I like to regroup. I don't quite, it's just a fear of what other people say, fear of what other people's opinions are of me, and how, I don't know, strange when we go through these retrogrades. Everyone has got their own patterns with them because it's their life, and everyone individually navigates them so differently because everyone's life is so different. But the blanket part of it to me is fear at the moment. And there's so much fear in the world and fear in our community, and how our individual self with the fear of where it sits within our energetic systems and our biospheres, our life lights and our physical form, and then how our body works with all that is a full ecosystem of homeostasis. Our body continues living its life form without our conscious mind being a part of it. So it has to navigate that with our hormones and our adrenal glands, our heart rate, and the life flow of fluids through our body, whether it's cleansing it or filtering new information. It all travels through our body. So if we bring these layers of self and awarenesses of self when we go through the retrogrades, Mercury retrograde is the most common one to bring up a lot. For me, I noticed 2 weeks ago that my mindset had shifted and I wasn't flowing as easily within myself, my patterns, my thoughts, as I was for maybe a few days or a week. And I dropped down again after doing the portal, the 1111 portal. And so when we notice that we've dropped down and we're struggling a little bit, that's when I Googled when is the retrograde, and it's like, surprise, we're heading into it and the shadow of it beginning. Well, what am I noticing in myself? Where is my mood at? Where am I noticing it in my body? What am I noticing through my body? How I get to sleep or wake up, do my chores or my responsibilities with my family or my clients. Where am I sitting with that? Those patterns that you have with how fear shows up into different parts of your life, of how projecting what you're experiencing into someone else's story. And when you notice that happening, how to bring yourself back out of that. I think with my team today, we're going to journey you through your bodysuit and help you recognize, look at that connection of projection, of misinterpretation of what is going on, and the communication with other people or other projects, and how you can just bring it back to being simple and true as your truth of how you're running that pattern with fear in your physical form, your mindset, your heart, and your creative centers. Like your spirit, your soul, your mind, your heart, your joy, your love, your creative centers to flow a new and clean of what's wanting to come through with the 1111 and the 1212 portal, and navigating the year end and projecting into the next year within a few months of the next year. This is that cycle that we're going through. So I guess if anything comes out of this YouTube video for today for you is to recognize some of the things that you might be doing in projection or feeling or noticing or allowing the stories and the anxiety and anguish in your head in relationship to another person or another project that you're working on. Halakatererehiriki, talalahachkatererehiriki, hayalalahachkatenehiki, hayalalahakatenehiki, hayalalahakai, mahenehiki. I'm working through where I'm at with this and who's coming through. Alakaterere, and naturally for me is the cave space, and because we're sitting within the portal of the 1111 gateway, which was hosted in my transmission, my team is taking me back in there. Alakaterere, and you've got Archangel Gabriel and Sandalphon. Alakaterere, like protection and channeling information through, as well as creating change transitioning some crossroad in your life that you, with your patterns, are releasing off. So when you are just within the frequency, it's simple because it's just flow of energy. It's flow of frequency and currency with your life currency to what you're accessing in your field of light and your person to what you're wanting to call in and manifesting change. So the fears and the experiences that you have right now in this retrograde is allowing you to see but also move at the same time. And it's so hard to see something going, whether it's like you've missed the boat on something or you haven't quite clicked with something and then it's gone and you think you haven't finished it. You're jumping from one earthly plane of moving forward to shift dimension into the Mercury retrograde dimension of awareness of flow, of what's slowing down as you're continuing on. There's this blending movement of you moving forward and creative projects going back the other way, which isn't really going back the way. It's just you're moving forward more than the other movement of the patterns and the lower vibes that you might be going in that mean something to you because you've had an experience. So there is a connection, and there's some that we want to jump into because of that need of patterns that we're still running, thinks that we need to be in it. And then it's that confusion of, do we actually think that we need to be in it? Or do we need to let it go? And you don't really know, which brings it back into the fear and the trust and the connection to your body system and your energetic fields and your source of awareness, spirit self, soul self in your life now, to trust the process and have clarity on what you need to connect with and what you don't. You just need to sit within it and know that you are held within all these moving parts of energy and frequency and vibration, bigger than your physical form, bigger than your 3D touching reality of experiences in this life, to sit within it and allow the trust and frequency and energy. Harehereki, which is where Archangel Gabriel bringing through the horn of wisdom or the creation coming through, but also that strong, sturdy warrior essence that he carries. For me, he carries that. And Sandalphon, the crossroads, sitting there, to also see them as webbing of cords and ties and attachments, or like you're unraveling, just crossing over of pathways in your life experience today. And when you sit there and allow nature to flow and tune into where nature's vibration is and have that stillness within the storm, there wasn't really much of an energetic storm, but that anguish in my mind about patterns and communications and so forth. So by sitting on the crossroads and knowing that you have a team member or you're just trusting in yourself, these crossroads and patterns unravel. You're not accessing a chord or a pathway to a slower paradigm of working through a project or a communication with someone, you're sitting there and trusting frequency that is not going to get pulled because it's frequency and energy. When you see it like that, there's no need to attach to something in our reality. It's coming back into your fields, which is where, if you know your body and your breath, you can journey through the homeostasis of your physical form to come back into that. And then that will link back into where the guilt or the fear or the anxiety or whatever low vibe you can word it as something, it can have a homing place in your form. And when you're sitting in these crossroads and you're watching and feeling frequency unravel and move, it releases wanting to shift from this paradigm into another that's at a different time. You're just sitting within this one and allowing the frequency to move through time, because we are all in everything all at the same time. We talk about timelines and past lives. We never really have a past life. We're all flowing them. There's some time, there are some timelines that are closed off because they don't service your evolutionary process in the physical of what your reality is now. You can tap into them within the energetic space of living in multi-dimensional frequency and awareness. You can tap into transcendental experiences and shift your timelines and go into experience and then bring back out for Akashic records or anything and everything. There's some that we shut off because we've had an awareness in that time that we no longer wish to run that pattern. And that's what we're doing now with these upgrades that we have in our conscious reality. We get to choose to shut off something. Halakatereke, and that's where our ego person can feel unsure. Do we want to do that? But we always know what is true when we're in the emotions are stored as an energy in the body, but the body anatomy and the homeostasis of life itself halakaterere is frequency and energy without the emotional patterns. Because you can come into your form, your energy field, and your spiritual self. Your me, myself, and I, your I am presence of my person in this form with my spirit self. Nahika, halakate nahiki, tananahakai lalahakai, ndalahakai terehireke. I have very clear awarenesses that are crystal clear over the last few weeks from the portal, November 11/11 portal, of patterns that I've run. And they have been masked by my grief of losing Sasha, my daughter, February 23. She was 18. They've been masked by that, but actually they've been running for my life. We have these massive events in our life that we can bundle all our shit into and use that as an excuse. And then when we have conflicts with someone else, we quite easily pass it off into someone else. It's why with our health, we can easily be accustomed to it and not notice these major changes that are just a part of our life now. But if we isolate out and find that true clean form of self, we can then see where we're actually healthy and where we're not healthy in our physical, mental, emotional, or auric, from someone else coming in or from patterns and stories coming in. But our spirit self is always pure light. It is always within us. It is always here. We just need to know how to navigate back into it and sit with it to see the clarity and the truth that we have access to always. So finding clarity within this, it's like a cloud of confusion. As the light language comes through to clear it. I like it. It's this mess of vines and cords, and that's all moving all over the place, which is what this time is all about. If we try to tinker with it, we just let it be and witness it or see it. And there's these little truths that in music, the space between the notes is the music, and it comes through to share a vibration, to share a tune or a toning within our energy fields, our life lights, that we can attune our physical form and attune our person and these these states of being that you're processing through that is getting flagged right now, trembling and moving and changing and trying to navigate what they're bringing through in a worded service to you. The vibration now, if you sit within your paradigm and then what was this space where there was moving forward, but the retrograde moving seemingly backwards, but it's just different speeds. There's a ravine in the middle of it with water, flow, energy, frequency. Mental and emotional patterns can flow through the current of change happening in the space between your present experience and that other paradigm, carrying patterns, stories, and belief systems that you're getting flagged with in your cords and ties and tangled up vines connecting to projects, people, and communications is just getting fed with life, fed with the life light that is all part of your version of self. And if you come into the frequency now, you can feel that you, as the tree or the forest and the connection, so the soles of your feet will start to tingle around your shins, and the front line of you will start to tingle as your shins walk through and your sternum cuts through as you move forward in life. It creates the direction to flow and it cuts through the storm cloud. It's like this the shadow that we're in. It's the shadow of the retrograde, that we're getting navigated through. And it's a navigation bigger than our person could ever find clarity with. It's that trust in spirit self that is you. You are not alone if you're in the confusion. I'm there with you. But as always, my team and I like to bring through the light of it and help you access your light, which is always within you. That is your presence. That you can form some form of coherence within self, that you can feel free and easy with your energetic fields so that they can untangle and they can circulate as they need to navigate the frequencies and energies that you're experiencing life with. They can't do their job if you're holding them so tight. So we need to trust the process of being still. The only way to do that is come into your body, your presence of self, and trust that. Give it a little bit of love and breathe a sigh of relief and tune in with your body with floor exercises, with breathing exercises. There's some YouTube videos of mine with feet and balancing and energetic fields, gravitational balance. Tap into those. They might help you awaken another layer of you where you can navigate body awareness and body talk and learning how your body patterns work. If you would like to see more videos, subscribe below. Go down to the links. If you've seen this before December 2024, you might like to join my 2024 12/12 portal gateway, which is coming up. If you subscribe to that, you will then get the replay of the others as well as finding them on my YouTube videos below. Thank you for joining me. Bringing it into landing back down. Calming our mind, our heart. Sending you so much love. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.